Welcome back to Bold of You to Say. We're back with another episode. In this one, we have a special guest, our tech/gaming/whatever we want to talk to him about. Correspondent, our stand-in, Jake, twitch.tv/_rival.
Azzy Rivals.
Link in description. Yeah, Jared wasn't able to make it this week. He's busy with work and stuff. So yeah, that's strike one.
What happens after the third strike? Am I the full time?
You don't want to know what happens after strike three.
Right now I'm just part time on the podcast. As soon as the third strike hits, it's I'm full time. So
hey Jared, go ahead and keep on skipping the podcast if you could. Yeah, thank you very much.
Anyway, we talked about Facebook Marketplace scams and how awful stuff, traded stories from Christmases long ago. And then we talked about Batman 1966 starring Adam West and other people. Great time. It's a great movie. Check it out if you haven't seen it, and then come back to this episode. Timestamps will be listed out in the description, so you can skip to whatever topic you'd like. If you want to, skip the stories, which I don't know why you would, but if you just you want to skip a certain part, or if you just can't wait to get to a certain part, that'll all be listed out down below. But yeah, subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. Follow us on social media. Leave us a review on Podchaser. That's like an IMDb site for podcasts that helps us out, I think. But yeah, let's just jump into it.
Sit back, relax, grab yourself a beer or tea if that's more your thing, and enjoy the ride. Okay, so if you know anything about me, I love a good deal. And I love when those deals involve video games and when people who don't know how much their stuff is worth. So I was scrolling through Facebook Marketplace, and I've always done local, which that's my immediate first recommendation. Always stick to local buyers and sellers. Never buy anything off of Facebook Marketplace that will be shipped to you, even if it says that it'll have buyer's protection. So I was scrolling through and I found this original PlayStation 4, like the original model that it came out with, like the kind of bigger one, which in my opinion is the best looking model, even better than the Slim and the Pro.
Yeah, I got to agree with you on that one.
And it was like the console and like 7 games and a 2 terabyte hard drive and 2 controllers for $50. And like the description was, my nephew doesn't use this anymore since he now has the PlayStation 5. So it's like, okay, cool. So I put in my order.
That is a suspiciously low price, especially in this market.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit. I want to pull up the screenshots. Do I have them?
Well, you can just try to paraphrase it as best you can.
Yeah, okay. So I probably waited about like 4 or 5 days, and it still showed as like pending shipping or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'll just message the guy. So I said, hey, I ordered this PS5, and I'm just, wondering how it's going, when it will be shipped out. And he asked, did you pay through PayPal? And I was like, no. And he said, well, you were supposed to pay through PayPal. I was like, oh. Okay, I didn't see that in the description, but that's fine. And
but you did pay, right?
Huh?
Did you pay through like Facebook's? Like,
yes.
Whatever. I haven't ordered anything with delivery through Facebook Marketplace. To be clear, I've only bought stuff locally, so I don't know like exactly how the process works. I imagine it's similar to like eBay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
But continue on. So I was like, oh, okay, what's the email? And he gives me this email, and it's an email tied to, I think, oh gosh, I can pull it up on my PayPal because I still have it on my PayPal if it would like to sign me in. Oh, it was to this guy named Noel, and the person's name was Terrence. It's like, huh, that's a little weird. But then I thought, I was like, maybe that's the kid's name. And, he's just saying, yeah, just give the kid, the money directly. And he said, make sure it goes through PayPal friends and family.
That's weird.
This should have been my first red flag.
Yeah, that sounds a little sus.
So, shut the fuck up.
Omogus.
He's
the imposter.
God, I'm gonna fucking kill So
I bought a PS4 and it was from the imposter.
God. Anyways. So I sent the $50 over, and he was like, all right, give me your address so I can ship it over to you. And I'm like, okay, so here's my address. He hearted it, and I asked, how much is the shipping going to be? And he said, $40. I was like, $40 a little much for shipping, but okay, that's fine, I guess. Maybe he's going to package it up really good or whatever. So I was like, okay, that's fine. There's the shipping.
Yeah, well, I know, like, if you're shipping something like through FedEx, just like privately, like you're shipping like something to someone, like shipping can be pretty expensive if you're just like an individual.
And especially if it's like a good amount of stuff, like, a PlayStation 4, 2 controllers and all these games and stuff. So I was like, okay, that seems a little high, but I guess I understand it. So I sent that over to him in addition with the friends and family thing. So there's $90. I only planned on spending $50 or whatever. I was like, okay, well, it's a little bit more, but it'll be worth it in the end. This is, I would be getting like $400 out of this after flipping it. And then he said, I'm unable to ship it to you. I need like $70 more from you in order for me to ship it. I was like, and at this point, I knew that I got scammed, and I'm visibly
I'm also gonna need your credit card number, the 3-digit code on the back, and the expiration date.
But I'm visibly shaking, I'm shaking so much. So I called up my friend Alex and Cam, and they helped me calm down and such, and they just helped me help me get back down to like a clear level head. So, I just said, I can't do that right now. I don't have that much money. That was all the money that I gave you. That's all I had left. Obviously bullshitting, because I had plenty of money. So then he said, yeah, that's fine. I said, and then he just said, okay. And then that was it for the rest of the night. Next day, I messaged him again saying, hey, any updates on the shipping? And he says, not yet. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Let me know when you do. And then just 3 or 4 hours later, just out of the blue, I just get 3 random Facebook Messenger calls from him. I didn't pick up any of them because I was at work busy doing stuff. And he said,
that's weird.
And he said, it's urgent. You won't get your package. I need the $75, please. And I said, can you give me my shipping information? And he doesn't say anything. And so he
where
says,
was this shipping from? Was this across the country or across the state or what?
It said New York.
New York. Okay.
Yeah.
Because if it was someone in the state, it's almost worth it to be like, okay, look, I'm gonna pay, $150 for this $50 product to get it shipped to me. We might as well meet halfway, and I can save the money.
Yeah. But yeah, and he said that I think I interpreted this wrong, but I was so fed up with it. I said something like, give me the number, please. I want to know the number. Give me the tracking number. And he said you are not getting it, as in you're not understanding. But he phrased that very, 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 very poorly, because I interpreted it as, I took your money. You are not getting the console until you pay me the $75. And I said, fine then. Give me a refund. And he says, are you serious? And I said, yes, give me my money back. And then he said, okay, how would you like your money? And I was like, all right, I'm gonna play the dirty trick on him. I would like the money through PayPal, friends and family.
And I'm also going to need a $90 service fee. In addition to that,
that is what happened after that. He said I can give you your money back, but you need to give me a $30 service fee or whatever. I was
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I was saying that you should say that to him, but he seriously had the balls. After extorting $90 from you and trying to get $70 in addition, he tries to get another $30 as a service fee.
Yes. And then he says, this will be going through my business account. And I said,
I thought we were friends and family, bud.
In my mind, I was like, what the fuck? Excuse me? And I was like, okay. And I said, okay, let me get this straight. So you're selling something. So you're selling somebody a product, and you're going through friends and family, when you have a business account where you can send an invoice, and I can have I have some sort of physical evidence that I can say, hey, I didn't get the fucking product, and I can get my money back.
This is why I hate Facebook Marketplace. It's too decentralized.
And then he said, well, yeah, I have a business account because I do it through Bitcoin. I do Bitcoin. I was like, and at that point I was
fuck
like,
this guy.
Yeah, I was like,
this guy.
I was like, fuck you. And so I was like, okay, I am done with your shit. I'm getting my money back. I'm contacting my bank and I'm getting my money back. I did not get all my money. I did not get all of my money back. So I did it through two different ways. So I called up the bank. I told them what happened. So at this time, that $50 payment the $40 payment for the shipping didn't go through yet. And this was through my checking account, not my credit card. So they were like, well, we can stop the payment, through to PayPal, but you won't be able to use that PayPal account again. You won't be able to use it again. And I was like, well, I do live streaming and I get donations, and that's how I get, some money through profit, revenue a little bit through, my streaming is through PayPal, and I really can't make a whole new one. It would be a whole hassle. They said, okay, here's what we can do. We can let the payment go through. Then once it goes through, call back again, explain the situation, and then we'll get you your money back. I was like, okay, cool. And then I fill out the form online to get my $50 back. I got my $40 back, no issues. Never got the other $50 back that I paid for the PS4 for. They gave of some sort of BS reason saying, oh, well, because you used PayPal, we can't, it was like, because you used PayPal, you consented to send this person money, so we can't reverse the transaction. I was like, well, fuck you, Visa, really? So, that's my story. That's my whole story. So I got scammed out of $50. It could have been a lot worse, but got scammed out of $50.
So you never got the PS4 then?
No, of course I never got the PS4. I made this huge long ass document, like 6-page document, describing what happened, in addition to having all these screenshots, and I sent it over to my bank and said, here's evidence, here's the proof, here's even timestamps of what happened. And I still didn't even get my $50 back.
Damn. Did you report the seller?
Well, here's the funny thing. Turns out, I went to go look up that user again, and turns out that person who was selling me that, their account had been hacked.
Really?
Yeah, so somebody else was in there trying to sell a PS4 that didn't even exist.
Oh.
So yeah.
So you can't even find the person that was actually scamming you. Oh, that's fucked.
Yeah. I mean, I have the original Noel Juma. I still have that, which I'm sure their PayPal's definitely deactivated by now. But what I can do is I can go onto a whole bunch of terrorist websites and I can sign them up for I can use their email and sign them up.
God.
Yeah.
Using today's sponsor, ExpressVPN.
Allows me to go onto the KKK website to sign them up.
Just get them on a bunch of just annoying newsletters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that reminds me of a Facebook Marketplace story that happened to me.
Oh yeah, the whole VR headset one.
Oh, that's another one. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that's a shorter one. I'll tell that one first. So, I had your old Rift S, and I was switching over to a Quest. And so, I didn't need the Rift S anymore. So once I moved down to Ann Arbor, this was like in the first few weeks of me being down here, I posted the Rift S on Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, it's in good condition. Cosmetically, maybe there's some wear in a couple places, but actually, on the controllers there was like a slight crack in one, but it like functioned perfectly fine. The lenses were in pristine condition. There were no scratches on them. You only used a microfiber cloth on it. I only used a microfiber cloth on the lenses. So they never got scratched up or anything. And I had this one person respond to the post, and they were interested. I think this was like a younger person. I would guess they're probably like 16-ish. Like they're like a teenager. And so they were asking questions about it, and like a lot of like noob questions. Like asking like, oh, do you think my PC could run it? Which, first of all, like just Google it. Google if your graphics card can run it. They were asking a lot of questions.
Literally put a piece of software out there that you can install on your computer, and it will tell you whether your PC can run Oculus VR or not. It's like a 5 megabyte download.
Yeah. Steam VR also has like a benchmark software that you can download. But anyway, so he was also asking, is it all working properly? And I sent him a gameplay video. I sent him a video of me playing Beat Saber to show that like the controllers work, the tracking works. It's all, I haven't been having any issues with it at all. And, I sent the video to him, and he was like, great, looks awesome. I'm going to pick it up. And I was like, okay, great, cool. So he came by to pick it up. I gave it to him in the box and everything. And I was like, you can inspect it if you want, to make sure that it's all there, make sure it's all, as I advertised it to be, make sure that the lenses look fine, make sure that, the controllers aren't broken or whatever. And we exchanged the money. I took the money, he took the headset, and I thought we were done with it. But he was messaging me like, hey, I can't get it to work. And I was like, do you have it plugged in? He was like, yeah. And I'm having trouble getting it to work. And I'm like, well, do you have it plugged into the right ports and stuff? Because sometimes people have issues with like certain ports. Yeah.
You should have said that. That would have been so good.
Oh God. I had to give this guy like tech support for this headset, which is frustrating enough, but it's also frustrating that it's like a noob. And it's also frustrating that it's like the person that I sold it to. And it's also frustrating that like we're strangers. Right. Like we don't know each other. We're not friends. Okay. Like this is all stuff that you can Google. Like you can search up YouTube videos. Like, why isn't my headset working? Or, why, whatever. Like this is all stuff that you can look up on your own. But anyway, he was like, yeah, it's working now. Thanks a lot. And I was like, cool. And I thought we were done. Wrong again. Cause he was like, hey, it's not working now. And he was like, I want a refund. And I was like, well, I showed you that it was all working. So whatever it is, it's on your end, or it's something wrong with your computer. It's not like, this isn't my fault. I don't want to do a refund. And he was also saying like the lenses were scratched, which they weren't. And if they were scratched, he should have said so. And at that point, I knew like, okay, if I give this kid a refund, he's going to return the headset and it's going to be broken, or the lenses are going to be scratched. Something is going to be wrong with it that wasn't wrong with it when I had it.
Right.
So I'm going to return the money and basically buy back a broken headset. So why would I do that when I'm nowhere near at fault? And I've done nothing wrong, and I did everything that I could. And yeah, so I ended up saying like, yeah, no, it's not going to happen. And he was like, okay. And like one mistake that I made, and I won't make this mistake again, but I had him come to like my home address to pick it up. Well, my like apartment's address, which like for the next like week or so, I was like, oh God, I hope he doesn't like try to pull up, and like take it or whatever.
Right.
Like I didn't think it was going to happen, but you never know. Like it's a stranger.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just a frustrating experience. Now, the story that I wanted to tell initially was this was about a year ago, I think, maybe a little more than a year ago. But yeah, so I had a PC case that I bought new, and I ended up not needing it. So I just wanted to sell it and, just get rid of it because I didn't need it. I was going to build a PC for Haley, but she ended up not deciding that she didn't want it. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I only spent like $30 on the case. I'll just, sell it and, get it over with. And I had, I think, some RAM and two GTX 750 Ti's.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, working on trying to get those sold.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this guy that wanted to buy all of it. Or he wanted to like look at all the stuff that I had. So we met up at the local grocery store parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I had all the stuff. He only asked to see the case, I think the RAM, if that's what I was selling.
Yeah.
And one of the graphics cards. And I brought that because that's what he asked for. And I don't remember what exactly like the amount was, but let's just say like, I don't know, let's just say the price for all of it added up to like $100. And he offered like, I think 175 or something, or like 150, like basically like way over what the total like should have been.
Right.
And I was like, well, fuck it. If he can't do math, I'm going to benefit from it.
Right.
And so he offered the money for like for the lot. And I was like, have a nice day, sir. And I thought, I made some good money today. And he messaged me later and he was like, hey, so when I bought that stuff from you, I thought I was getting both of the graphics cards. And then I realized that's what this was. That's what you're doing. Okay, I see now. So what I think happened was he knew, because he inspected all of it.
Right.
He was like looking through everything. Like he knew what was there.
Right.
And he offered more than he offered more than he should have. And of course, I didn't stop him because why would I?
Right.
And yeah, so he was like, yeah, I'm going to need that second graphics card. And I was like, no, you offered me this amount for what was there. You clearly knew what was there. And we exchanged goods for money. That's the end of it. Sorry, you can't do math. Sorry, you can't see what, that there's only one graphics card there, but it's not like I hid anything from you.
Right.
I didn't like fall for the scam and give him the second graphics card. And I thought that was going to be the end of it. But no, he kept messaging me and he was like, oh, well, I see what kind of person you are. He was like trying to guilt me. He was trying to make me feel like I'm an awful person because I didn't like hand over my stuff. And he was like, then he like brought politics into it like needlessly. And he was like, oh yeah, I see. Yeah, you got that fucking Bernie sticker. Yeah, you fucking scum socialist. Yeah, you idiot lefty. And I was like, well, I'm clearly not talking to an adult. And then
hold on. You idiot lefty, bro, you can't even do math.
Yeah, for real.
I think you're the idiot.
And
bud.
it's like this guy read a book of tropes for online scam artists because it's just like every post on r/4exposure. This guy was like, look, I have a kid and he's going to be real disappointed if he doesn't have that graphics card. Okay. Or I think he was like, yeah, I make my money by building PCs and selling them. And, my kid's not going to have a Christmas if I don't get this graphics card, this graphics card, which I think was listed for like $30.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, that's going to make or break your kid's Christmas. Okay. Then he had his friend message me. And his friend was like, listen, if you don't fucking hand over what is owed to my buddy here, you're going to regret it, okay? I know people that go to your school, okay? Okay, I know some people that can fuck you up.
Wait.
And he was
wait. Did he say that I know people that go to your school?
Yeah.
You don't even go to school.
Or this must have been like 2 years ago, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Because I was still in high school, but
okay.
But yeah, anyway, like this guy was like, yeah, I know people that go to your school. And he didn't like outright say it, but he did basically say that like, I'm going to make people, I know people that go to your school and I'm going to tell them to kick your ass.
Ah.
And I was like, okay, bud. Okay, fucking do it.
Like bet.
Like, I fucking do it. You're not. You don't. And I think he also like threatened to like tell my parents. He's like, I know who your parents are. I'm going to tell them about. Okay, do it. Tell them you're being a creep that's threatening a child.
Yeah, what's your mom gonna care about? It's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, tell my parents that your friend doesn't know how to do math.
Kim replied with how much he has in Dogecoin. He has $266.
Not bad. $40 turned into that. That's pretty good.
He says that he's gonna hold it until he sees $1, and then maybe sell.
I for sure would.
He said so we can now afford a nice dinner and a movie.
Fuck it, I would buy a Quest 2. I know you guys already have Valve indexes. I know you're good with that, but I want a Quest 2. And lately I've been instead of measuring things in dollars, I measure things by how many Quest 2s I could buy with that amount of money. Like Haley and I went shopping yesterday, and she wants to get a cabinet for some of our art supplies that we have,
right?
Because we don't really have a good place to put them. And we were looking at some like home store, whatever.
IKEA?
And no, it was like Home Goods or At Home or something. But yeah, they had like shitty cabinets that were like upwards of $300 to like $500. And it's like, well, shit, for the price of this rickety wooden cabinet, I could buy a Quest 2.
Right.
Just buy a Quest 2, put a cabinet in your virtual space, and you get way more value out of it. But that's just me. I guess you could say I see the world differently.
God, shut the fuck up. Oh boy. Okay, so I can talk about the most recent purchase almost purchase that I had from Facebook Marketplace. So
okay. By the way, we'll have to save your other two topics for the next episode.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because we are kind of running out of time, and I want to get through the movie as quick as possible.
Yeah, and I'm starting to get really tired.
Yeah.
Okay, so the most recent like purchase kind of thing that not really purchase thing that happened was so it was this lady. She was selling a Xbox 360 with like 27 games, 3 controllers, a racing wheel, and a Kinect for like $240. And one of those games in there is NCAA Football 14. Doesn't sound like it would be a very valuable game, right?
Yeah, it just sounds like a bargain bin game, but it's gonna be worth like $500, isn't it?
No, not that much. But the Xbox 360 version of it is $86.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is. Marvel games. The Marvel tie-in games from like pre-Avengers.
Like the Iron Man one?
Yeah. Some of them are really expensive. Like I mentioned last week's episode talking about, or whichever episode I mentioned, Captain America Super Soldier. Mm-hmm. That game, if you get a PS3 copy, it's like upwards of $80.
Really?
And I think the Iron Man 2 game and I think the Thor game are around the same price.
Captain America Super Soldier.
Yeah, I don't know about the Xbox version, but the PlayStation 3 version it's pricey.
The Xbox 360 version is $21.
No, I cannot condone.
The Wii version is the cheapest.
The Wii version sucks.
Oh, okay.
The Wii version is like a watered down version of the PlayStation and Xbox version.
Okay. Let's see. What's the other one?
That's
Iron
actually
Man 2?
the one that I owned years ago. Iron Man. I don't know if it's specifically Iron Man 2. I know it's one of the Iron Man games that's expensive.
Iron Man 2 is not very expensive at all.
So yeah, well, some of the Marvel games are like $12, and some of them are $90. It's weird. Yeah.
But anyways, so I totaled it all up. It was like $400 worth of stuff. And I found it I found it and it was like 26 minutes ago posted. I was like, okay, I'm messaging this person immediately and buying this. So we meet up. I'm going through all the stuff. probably at least like a quarter of the game's cases. Like she didn't check anything. She just put it all in a box, and she said it was like senior downsizing. My mom kind of misinterpreted that, and she thought it was like a senior citizen downsizing.
Oh,
No, it's like a high school senior downsizing.
that does make a little bit more sense, I think.
But yeah, I was going through, and like I think like a quarter of them didn't even have their games. And at least like 3/4 of them were super scratched up. And then when I checked the Xbox for the hard, then when I checked the Xbox for the hard drive, there was no hard drive in it. I was like, well, I'm sorry, but I can't buy this. There's just nothing here that's worth anything. And she said, well, I told her, if you're able to find the hard drive, I may be interested in it, but the other condition of the games, I'm not so sure about.
So hold on, was this the Xbox, like the original one, or Xbox 360?
360.
Okay.
So, and then probably about like 10 minutes later, I was like, no, those games were in bad condition. So I just told her, I said, I'm going to pass on the Xbox and the games. The games were heavily scratched, and it would take a good amount of money to resurface them all. Thank you for letting me look at it before I made a decision. I appreciate it. She said, no problem. I didn't know the hard drive was missing. I'll let him know about the scratches. Glad to see a young, smart consumer. So she complimented me, which was very cool.
Good on you. At least this wasn't like an outright scam. Like it's just someone that means well that doesn't know what they're doing.
And you'll never guess her name.
What is it?
Karen.
Oh, well, way to play against type.
Yep. I mean, I told my mom, I was like, oh boy, I just realized her name. I said, what's her name? And I said, it's Karen. She's like, oh no. Because she knows about Karens. I told her about Karens.
It's always nice to see a good Karen. It's inspiring because it's like, anyone can be whatever they want. You're not defined by stuff like, your name. It's nice. It's nice to see.
That's it. Just your name.
Yeah. You can, if you work hard, in America, if you work hard, you can work past certain things like, your name.
God damn it.
But yeah, I love a good Karen story. No, that I have like a bad version of that story. This wasn't something that I was going to buy, but I did see it listed on Facebook Marketplace. Mm-hmm. It was this guy who was selling an Oculus Rift CV1,
yep.
Which, okay, fine. I don't doubt that it's a functioning headset. I can't speak to any of that, but the title was super clickbaity and like obviously trying to like appeal to children or like parents that don't know anything. And it's like VR headset like the Oculus Quest, but better. And it's like, well, first of all, you're marketing it as the Oculus Quest, but better. So people are going to think this is a standalone headset. Nowhere in the listing was it mentioned in the title or the description that you actually need a PC to run this. It's super vague. The description was like VR headset, great for gamers. And it's like you can do all kinds of cool shit with it. But like nowhere does it mention like the specifications or, what you need to run it. It's just Oculus Quest, but better. And it's like, well, you know what the fuck you're doing. So I messaged the guy and I was like, look, man, you got to stop this. You can't market this as the Quest, but better when this is clearly not the same thing. It's the same company, sort of. It's a VR headset. I'll give you that, but it's not like the Quest, but better.
Yeah. What was his reaction to that?
Oh, this guy was so scummy. He was like, he basically just told me to fuck off. And he was like, don't tell me how to do business. And I was like, oh, you're such a predator.
Here,
Like,
So this is
what a
something that I do.
bad dude.
So whenever I see something,
I should see if I still have the messages because I don't delete these messages. I want to see if I still have it.
So here's something that I do. Anytime that I see on Facebook Marketplace a Xbox Series X,
Oh, damn it! I don't have it anymore.
duh,
I guess they automatically delete old messages.
probably.
And this was a long time ago.
But anytime that I see a Xbox Series X or a PS5 that's above market price, like they're trying to flip it on Facebook Marketplace, first thing that I do, report listing, scam, and I just keep on reporting it over and over and over again. And it eventually gets delisted.
You know, not all heroes wear capes.
I will continuously do that. So if any of you reseller fuckheads are listening to this podcast, you're never going to sell it. Because I'm going to keep on reporting it as a scam, and I will get your Facebook account banned.
If you're a graphics card or PlayStation 5 like flipper or a scalper, that's the word I'm looking for. If you're a scalper, fuck yourself with a cactus.
With the PS5.
Please continue to listen to the show because I really need the downloads. But like, fuck yourself. And just know that this is not the end of this. I will verbally attack you again, and you're gonna take it like the little bitch you are. But anyway, let's get into the movie after this short intermission because I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be back in a second.
All right. Oh boy, I get my own Jerry's corner, but it's Jake's corner. What are we going to talk about in little Jake's corner? I've been adding quite a bit to my collection. Been adding a pretty good amount. Today I just got, I think, like 5 new games. I spend way too much. I spend way too much money on my collection. It's becoming an issue. It's becoming an issue. I got myself a Sega Saturn, which is pretty cool. I got it for $100, and they're typically going for like $170. Came with a 3D control pad. If anybody who's listening watches my streams or my YouTube videos or follows me on social media, I sincerely apologize about the lack of uploads or just really just anything. I just got out of college. In addition to starting a new job, a really, really good job too, that I like a lot. It gives me a lot of good benefits and pays me pretty well. In addition to trying to get out of the hellscape that I call my home, I would elaborate more on it, but I'm currently under their roof, so I can't really comment on it. But when I move out, I will probably make a whole, I don't know, like 30-minute, 40-minute long video of just how terrible it was living in this place. But I hope that all you are doing your part and, you know, help trying to get rid of this stupid coronavirus shit. Like I just want to go back to normal, man. Like I've dealt with the masks or whatever for so long. I've gotten used to it. But if you're able to get like a free vaccination or something, try to get the COVID vaccine if you're able to. Keep wearing the masks. I want to be done with this shit as much as you guys want to be done with it. So, I think Alex will be back in a bit. So, I think my little talk was successful. And I know it's probably not nearly as entertaining as Jerry's Corner, but I'd rather have more informative Jake Corner, Azzy Corner, whatever Alex wants to call it. And I guess another real quick thing while he's still away. One thing that I do is whenever I'm on streams or YouTube or I do YouTube videos or anything like that, I try to include my friends as much as I can, because if I somehow get really big, I want my friends to get really big too, because they've helped me through a lot. So if I can help them out in some way, just even just having them in the video for helping with more content and keeping people entertained, I think it's the least I could do, in my opinion.
Hey, I'm back.
Hello. I have just finished my small section of Jake's Corner, Azzy Corner, whatever you want to call it.
Azzy_rivals, twitch.tv slash Azzy_rivals corner.
Can we get some N words in there? I'm kidding.
God. So yeah, anyway. So this week we watched Batman 1966. Spoiler alert, the best Batman movie.
And this was the first Batman movie I ever watched. I have never watched a Batman movie prior.
Yeah, I didn't realize prior to planning this episode that you hadn't seen a Batman movie, so this was going to be your first one. But I'm glad that it was. I think that's for the best that this was your first one. But yeah, so anyway, before we get into the plot summary, since this isn't like on any streaming services, at least not, like you have to like rent it or buy it.
I'll check.
Yeah, I think you can get it on like Google Play. Hold on.
You can get it on YouTube. Oh, it's on Hulu.
With a premium subscription. I think it's with live TV, which is way too expensive.
Yes, it is with live TV. Yep.
Yeah. You can get it on Amazon Prime, Vudu, Apple TV, Google Play, iTunes, YouTube for $3.99. Or if you want to own it, you can get it from Books A Million, Walmart, Target. You could also find it on like eBay and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty cheap. Batman, the movie from 1966, is $10 from Books A Million, $9 from Target, and $6 from Walmart. And this is all Blu-ray. So it's a pretty cheap movie if you don't already have it. And if you haven't seen it, I would suggest, if you are able to, watching it and then coming back to this episode, because we will be spoiling the whole thing as much as 1960s Batman can be spoiled.
There's not much to spoil, to be honest. It's kind of like a run of the mill kind of like superhero kind of movie.
It's exactly what you expect from 60s Batman. But
which is nothing much.
There's the whams and the bam and
only in the last scene though. Only in the last scene do they do that.
Yeah, really. I wish that there was more of that.
That's where all the budget went into, was that last scene with all the the effects.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the plot. I'm going to go through the plot, basically what happens in the movie real quick, and then we will go into more specifics, what we love, what we didn't love, criticism, stuff like that. So the movie opens with Batman and Robin as their alter egos, Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson, out on a lively afternoon drive. They get called to investigate a boat carrying a scientist and his revolutionary new invention. And so they go out on the Batcopter to investigate, and the boat disappears, leaving only slight clues to the evildoers behind this dastardly plot. Joker, Catwoman, Riddler, and Penguin are conceiving a plan to kill Batman and take over the world. They have the scientist and his invention at their bar, grill, and lair. Catwoman disguises herself as Miss Kitka, a Russian journalist, and seduces the very horny Bruce Wayne so the villains can kidnap him as bait for Batman. Bruce Wayne escapes. The villains demonstrate a new application for Commodore Schmidlaps, the guy that they have kidnapped. Total Dehydrator, which is the invention that was on the boat, in an experiment to rival the Nazis, which I will talk more specifically about later. The villains have a new plan to use the weapon on the UN, or the world. It was like the United World Organization, basically the UN.
Basically.
Yeah, this weapon that they have, it like turns people to dust by extracting all of the moisture from them. So they plan to use this to turn the UN into dust and hold them hostage. Batman returns to where he was kidnapped. The wrong movie. Batman returns to the lair that he was brought to when he was kidnapped to save Kitka, only to find that she's gone. Instead, he finds a bomb and has a lot of difficulty disposing of this bomb.
I've got a comment on that. Well, later.
Later. Penguin, disguised as Commodore Schmidlap, the guy that was kidnapped, the scientist that invented the dehydrator ray, tricks Batman and Robin into bringing him to the Batcave along with 5 dehydrated goons. And the Penguin, his plan is to rehydrate them so they can, fight Batman and Robin. But unfortunately, he did not bring his Brita filter, so the rehydrated goons are really unstable. So like one hit and they just turn into antimatter.
They get snapped.
Yes. Batman and Robin trick Penguin into because so the reason that they brought him to the Batcave was that Penguin was disguised as Commodore Schmidlap, the scientist that got kidnapped, and he was like, "Hey, it's me, the scientist. Wah, 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 wah. I'm not the Penguin." And Batman and Robin were like, "Okay, Mr. Not the Penguin, we'll take you to our Batcave and find out for sure if you're not the Penguin." So yeah, at this point, the goons are rehydrated and stuff, and they were like, and Batman's like, "Okay, Mr. Not the Penguin, all right, I don't think you're the Penguin." So yeah, they bring him out of the Batcave. They drive him back to where they got him from. And the Penguin is like, "Aha, the tables are turned on you, Batman and Robin." So he hits them with some penguin gas. But luckily, Batman and Robin prepared ahead of time and they took anti-penguin gas pills. So they're not actually knocked out, and they, try to follow Penguin back to the villain HQ because he stole the Batmobile and is heading back to headquarters. So yeah, Batman and Robin follow him in the Batcopter, and they get knocked out of the sky, and then they crash into the Foam Rubber Wholesalers Convention, a moment I love. Batman and Robin find out about the villain's plan to kidnap the United World Organization. So then we see the UN, the United World Organization, arguing over each other in different languages and stuff, and so they don't really notice each other being kidnapped. The villains get away and they, are holding the UN hostage. Batman and Robin track down the villain submarine and then force them to surface. And then the epic final fight scene ensues. And Batman discovers that Kitka, spoiler alert, was Catwoman the whole time.
It's not really a spoiler. It kind of gets shown.
Well, it's a spoiler for Batman.
Well, yeah, it's a spoiler for Batman, but it gets shown within like the first 30 minutes of the film.
Fair. So yeah, Batman catches up to the audience and finds out that Miss Kitka was actually Catwoman the whole time. Batman and Robin recover the UN, and they have to try to separate them because the dust that they got turned into gets all mixed up and jumbled together, so they have to try to separate them. Robin tries to do some casual eugenics. Batman and Robin end up sorting out the UN people into their individual little like test tube things, and it's a nail biting moment. Like, are they going to do it? Are they going to be able to separate them? So they do, and then they bring the UN people back to their meeting room. They rehydrate them, and it kind of turns out their shit is fucked. Like, they get all like, I guess their minds are in the wrong bodies. Classic body swap situation. But Batman's like, "Hey, maybe this is the best service that has ever been done to humanity." So they make a quick sneaky exit, and they're like, "We did it. Job well done. We saved the day." Roll credits.
Wonderful. Thank you for that amazing synopsis of the movie.
Thank you.
Play by play.
And so, that's the plot of the movie. That's everything that happens. Now we can do general thoughts before we get into specifics. So overall, 10 out of 10, best movie ever, complete masterpiece. It's perfect.
I thought it was pretty good.
Perfect Batman movie.
I thought it was pretty good. It was completely ridiculous, and a lot of the scenes didn't make any sense. But it was good.
I do actually have some serious criticisms, which I will get into soon. But yeah, overall, incredible snapshot of that era of Batman. So now let's get into specifics. First of all, we can do heaps of praise and love for this movie before we get into criticisms. So first of all, well, I mentioned this to you. This movie got a lot of shit when it came out, and you were your reaction was that of disbelief.
Yeah, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me because the movie. I mean, it's that's a good way to put this. I don't remember what I was going to say. My mind's blanking on me now. I'm getting too old.
It's fine. So yeah, Adam West got a lot of shit for this movie. The movie itself got a lot of shit when it came out because a lot of like diehard hardcore Batman fans were like, this isn't what Batman is. This is so goofy and campy. And well, really, that's what Batman comics were like. But yeah, like thinking about it like in a historical context, this was like, in the middle of the era of comics being governed by the Comics Code Authority, which basically like neutered and censored comics to the point where like you couldn't have any mature themes. So it really had to be all like goofy and stuff. And this was in the middle of that era. Batman started out like fairly dark, and then at this point the comics were like really goofy and like lighthearted and stuff. But yeah, like the backlash from this movie is what gave us The Dark Knight Returns, which was the Frank Miller comic from, I think, like 1986, somewhere in the mid 80s. And that's when Batman started to become, at least in the comics, a lot darker. And that's the inspiration for modern Batman, like the Zack Snyder version of Batman. So yeah, that's the historical context for this movie. But yeah, so the first thing that I wanted to mention under what I love about this movie is, complain all you want about the goofiness, like if it's not your thing, like if you like more serious Batman, complain about the goofiness all you want, but the movie tells you within 30 seconds exactly what it is and what it's going for. Like the opening acknowledgement says, and to lovers of adventure, lovers of pure escapism, lovers of unadulterated entertainment, lovers of the ridiculous and the bizarre, to fun lovers everywhere, this picture is respectfully dedicated. So, it tells you like going in, like this is going to be like just fun, lighthearted, just pure like entertainment. It's not going to be like dark and gritty. But in addition to just being a fun movie, this is really like possibly the most comics accurate adaptation of Batman, because it is like a perfect 1-to-1 adaptation of, Batman comics of the time. And, as a Batman story, a lot of people say like the Dark Knight, the Christopher Nolan movies are the best Batman movies. I disagree. This isn't like an original like thing that I came up with. I saw this online, but one way to judge a Batman story is, could you see this version of Batman coexisting with Superman? Could you see it like meshing well with like, the more out there parts of DC lore? And this version is the one that most fits that criteria.
Unfortunately, I don't have much to say on this because I don't know anything about DC.
That's fine. But if you had to guess, Jake, out of all the live action iterations of the Batman suit, which one do you think is the most adequate for fighting crime?
For fighting crime, I would have to.
If you were gonna go out and fight crime, which Batman suit do you think would be the most adequate?
All right, I'd have to take a look at all of them. Oh God, dear God, there's 82 of them. Hold on. In 1957, there was a version of Batman's suit where it was just rainbow.
Yeah, 50s Batman is weird.
That's so good.
All right, look at what I sent to Discord. Not counting the two black and white ones, because those are like the old like serial ones.
Right.
So from Adam West up to Ben Affleck, which Batman suit do you think is the most adequate for fighting crime?
For fighting crime, I would say the one to the right of Adam West.
Okay, so that's the Michael Keaton suit.
Mm-hmm.
And wrong. They're all horrible. They're all horrible for fighting crime.
Trick question.
Except, you know what? They're all horrible for moving in. They're all horrible for looking to the side,
right?
Like turning your neck,
because you have impaired vision.
Except the Adam West version. And I take great pride in knowing that Adam West's bat suit is the most functional when it comes to actually fighting crime. And I think that's the best detail in this movie, or at least the best detail about this movie. Because at least you can actually like move around in it.
Right. Yeah, it looks a lot more flexible than the other ones. The other ones look like a lot more like, I guess, like, I don't know, skin tight, I guess.
Yeah, and they're also like all like hard rubber and stuff.
Right. Which I guess would be good for protection, but not for fighting people.
Yeah. But anyway, more stuff that I love about this movie. I'm going to just say it. This is the best score out of any Batman movie, and that is including the Tim Burton Batman and the Dark Knight, all of them. This is the best one. It just has the best vibes.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just classic.
Yeah. The actors' performances are perfect in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I love it so much.
Very, very corny.
See, what makes it great, what makes it incredible is this is a campy movie. It's a very silly movie, but the actors play it like it's Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made Leslie Nielsen great, and that's what makes this movie great. Because like if you have people giving goofy performances in a goofy movie, it's just not, it's gonna feel like weird. But if you like, when you have people play it like perfectly straight and serious, it just heightens how hilarious everything is. A perfect example is all of the scenes where they're trying to like piece together the riddles from the villains. Like and in the opening of the movie, like after,
I remember this now. Yeah, how far out there it was.
Oh yeah, they just make these huge leaps, but they just treat it like, yeah, of course, like this is just logic. So yeah, after the opening scene with the boat and the shark repellent, Batman and Robin meet up with Commissioner Gordon and what's his face, the Irish guy, and they're like, oh, they left this riddle, or no, this wasn't one where they left a riddle, but they were like, oh, it's real fishy what happened with that boat disappearing. And where there's a fish, there's a penguin.
The penguin.
But hold on, Batman. This happened at sea.
C for Catwoman.
And that shark was pulling my leg. The Joker. And it all adds up to a sinister riddle. Riddle-er. Like, holy fuck. I love every single second of their detective work.
It's so bad.
And they play it. They play it so serious that it brings it to a whole other level. And I feel like Adam West doesn't get enough credit for making those scenes work. Because like on paper, that shouldn't work. But Adam West is like, oh, this is such a grave situation we're in. Oh, we got to find out who did this. Like it's like he's trying to solve 9/11, but it's some boat and there's a costumed villain, and he just plays it so serious that you hear him say, that shark was pulling my leg. That the shark was pulling my leg, Robin. That must only mean that the Joker is behind this. Like you hear him say that and you believe it. And that is a testament to how good of an actor Adam West is. Another scene that demonstrates, this similar thing is at one part they're interpreting some a riddle that was written in the sky in smoke, and it's a riddle, or it's a riddle. What has yellow skin and writes? Robin says a ballpoint banana, of course. And the second part is what people are always in a hurry. Russian people, Russians. Someone Russian is going to slip on a banana peel and break their neck. And Batman's like, that's the only possible meaning. That's the only possible thing that you could derive from those two questions.
It doesn't even put like any other like thought into it. It's like immediate, just yes, That's the meaning.
People say that the Arkham games have the best are the best showcase of Batman's skill as a detective. Nah. It doesn't even touch this.
I have yet to play the Arkham games.
They're pretty good. They were free on Epic a while ago.
Yeah, I never got them.
You'll have to get them next time the bundle goes on sale.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Arkham Origins. Arkham Origins is pretty good, I think. A lot of people hate it, but I think it's pretty good. I just don't think it met a lot of people's expectations, but I think it's an all right game. But anyway, the third and final example that I have of Batman and Robin making huge logical leaps that through their skill as actors come off as believable. So this next riddle is, what goes up white and comes down yellow and white? Robin answers, an egg. And how do you divide 17 apples among 16 people? You make applesauce. And from that, they somehow they deduce that the villains are attacking the UN. Give Sherlock Holmes the same set of clues. He'll never solve it. But Batman and Robin, they opened their third eye, their galaxy brain.
just a massive leap.
But anyway, moving on, more stuff that I love about this movie: the absolute commitment to the campy tone, the absolute commitment to the goofiness of this world. Like the universe that this movie exists in is one that is run by 8-year-olds, and Batman is a 10-year-old. Like Batman is like more like capable than everyone else, but the bar is super low.
Just barely.
Like one specific thing is like they're trying to figure out, did the villains get a hold of a war surplus submarine? So they call like the Pentagon, and the Pentagon is like, yeah, we gave a weapon of war to some guy named P.N. Gwyn. And well, what do you mean? What do you mean his address? Why would we get his address? What? Some identification? Why would we need that? He said his name is P.N. Gwyn. And Batman's like, P.N. Penguin. Also, I appreciate the villain's commitment to theme, given how much easier it would be to just shoot Batman with a gun. They're like, all right, Joker, you're gonna have this spring trap, and it's gonna be a Jack in the Box, and it's gonna shoot Batman out the window and into the Penguin's exploding octopus. It's like, or you could just shoot him.
That too.
Or you could just throw a knife at him. Just do literally anything else that takes a lot less effort and work. But no, these villains have they are nothing if not committed to their themes, and you got to appreciate that. Another campy thing I love in this movie is how everything in the Batcave is labeled like a 5th grade science fair.
Oh yeah, yep.
Like the bat sink, the bat computer, the bat stairs, the bat faucet.
Right, everything has to have bat in front of it.
I love it so much. Yeah, and it has like a clearly labeled, like it's just on printer paper. It's so good. So good. I love it so much.
It's like taking like a label maker and like labeling the label maker with the label and labeling the label for the label maker.
You mean
label maker.
The bat label? You're bat labeling the bat label maker. But yeah, another silly thing that it tickles me in this movie is they really took a dude to their secret base to make sure that he's not a supervillain. That was just a good analogy would be like, okay, this guy is either, a kidnapping victim or he's Osama bin Laden. Let's bring him to the Pentagon. What could possibly go wrong?
They drugged him.
No, let's bring him to an airport.
They drugged him and they took him to their sex dungeon.
Oh God. Oh, this is another one. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. That's perfect moment from this movie. And you mentioned earlier you wanted to talk about this part.
Oh my god. Okay, I understand it's for comedic effect, but that the fuse on that bomb was way too long, and I'm pretty sure in one of the scenes, like one of the scenes, like it was like shorter, and then in the next scene it was taller than before. just inconsistent.
It's the classic growing fuse.
Inconsistent, but you know,
now my favorite
for comedic
part.
Effect.
My favorite part is the people just not moving out of the way.
Yes, that
like
too.
in the restaurant. In the restaurant, there's two people that just like, hey,
Just
we
sitting
ordered
there.
this food. We're gonna eat it. We're gonna get our money's worth. Fuck your bomb. So Batman's like, oh, I gotta, get it. I gotta get it out of here. I gotta get it over here. Oh shit, there's some nuns. Oh, I'll get it. I'll take it this way. Oh, there's a woman pushing a stroller. Oh, I'll take it this way. Oh, there's a marching band.
Like you could literally just throw it in the water and be done with it.
Well, he's like, oh, I'm gonna throw it over the dock into the water. There's some ducks or a boat with two lovers on it, and some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
And then and then he apparently hides behind like pipes or something.
Oh, there's a few moments like that make me laugh so hard every time.
The pipes, the pipes wouldn't have saved you. The force from the blast would have made all the pipes fall down on top of you and crush you, or have a bunch of shrapnel at least in your head.
What I love about this movie is the moments that are like that one. Like
it's just
luckily Robin, I was able to hide behind these heavy metal pipes. Or or the Batcopter got shot out of the sky, but luckily we landed on the foam rubber wholesalers convention. I love it. I love it so much.
The dolphins running into that last torpedo that they sent off.
You know what? That porpoise is the real hero of this movie, and I stand by that.
But what are the odds of that happening? Are like Batman and like oh my gosh, are like Batman and Aquaman working together secretly?
I was gonna say that is that a secret Aquaman cameo?
Yeah, let me just sacrifice one of these fish that I'm controlling.
I really want to see a 60s/70s Justice League movie with Adam West Batman, Christopher Reeve Superman, whoever to play Aquaman. Just build the whole Justice League. I want it so bad. Please give it to me.
Be amazing.
But anyway, moving on. This is by far, and I think this should be addressed, comparing this to other movies like before, this is by far the horniest Batman. I'm just going to let that sit for a second.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong in the slightest.
Look, speaking as someone who has seen other Batman movies, I haven't seen all of them, but I've seen most of them. This is the horniest Batman, at least that I know of. Maybe the George Clooney one is a similar horniness level, but this is the horniest Batman that I know of. Poor horny himbo Bruce Wayne. No woman deserves his love. Adam West really made me believe that Bruce Wayne had his heart ripped out and stomped on by Miss Kitka,
who was secretly Catwoman.
Which, by the way, Batman and Catwoman in the comics have had a history of hooking up and being dating each other.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But anyway, I also love how one plot point in this movie is that Robin's fear of watching Batman fuck directly gets Batman kidnapped.
Yes. Yep.
He's like, oh, I don't think this is decent. And Alfred's like, well, hold on. He told us to watch him and make sure nothing bad happens, which is correct. Thank you, Alfred, for being the voice of reason. But Robin's
he just wanted to watch Batman get down.
Oh,
that's why he said it.
Alfred's like, I raised this guy. I want to see this through. This is a proud surrogate father moment. But yeah, with this being the horniest Batman, this Batman is willing to kill for a woman he just met, making him by default the most capable Batman, psychologically speaking. Traditionally, Batman has a rule where he doesn't like to use guns and he doesn't like to kill. But this Batman is perfectly willing to like murder people with his bare hands if they get between him and his girl. And that makes him the most capable Batman. This is the Batman that is most capable of stopping the bad guy. As long as the bad guy is getting between him and a woman.
Right.
It's, small stipulation. And some more, miscellaneous stuff that I want to talk about. Just in the opening, it mentions millionaire Bruce Wayne, which that's adorable. Millionaire Bruce Wayne. Like, that's how you know this is old. Like, $1 million is a lot.
Right. My uncle has $2 million.
Yeah, to be a millionaire now, you just have to work for 40 years and not spend a lot.
Or just invest in Dogecoin.
Yeah, invest in Dogecoin. Also, as advanced as modern Batman is, in the comics and the movies and cartoons and everything, as advanced as Batman is in this modern era, he still doesn't have an instant costume change lever.
Right, yeah.
He doesn't have a lever he can flip that just puts his costume on him.
See, I want to know how that even works. How fat, like...
Look, this is the most accurate Batman. This is the horniest Batman. This is the Batman with the most practical suit. And this is the most technologically advanced Batman.
and the smartest.
Yep, and the smartest. He's able to piece together the villain's plan with the most unrelated riddles. But anyway, another thing that I love about this movie, Cesar Romero, the guy that plays the Joker, is such a Chad. Do you know why? Do you know why he's such a Chad?
I do not know. Explain.
So the Joker traditionally does not have a mustache.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he has ever had a mustache. I could be wrong. There could be some like one-off thing, but the Joker usually does not have a mustache.
Correct.
And they asked Cesar Romero, who had a mustache, if he would shave it for this role.
And he said, yeah. And he said, no, because I can see the mustache
he said
underneath.
No. Yeah. I didn't notice it until it was pointed out. But yeah, Cesar Romero just has a mustache under the Joker makeup. I love that so much. And what an alpha male. Also, another miscellaneous thing, Spider-Man Far From Home secretly ripped off this movie's thing turns out to be a projection technology. Like, we all thought Spider-Man Far From Home was so cool because the villain uses holograms to make things appear and disappear, when really this movie did it like 50 years prior. It really was ahead of its time in so many ways. Now, do you have anything to add before we move into criticisms?
Catwoman was the real villain. I discussed this last night very briefly.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Did you see how many times she threw that cat? And in addition, like, what was she even there for? Besides getting Bruce Wayne all... Right? Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Well, what was she there for besides getting Bruce Wayne all horny and throwing a cat a couple of times and making cat noises? She didn't.
Yeah, I think
she did nothing else.
This, but I wanted to talk about that. Her whole thing was just throwing her cat at people. Like, she threw her cat at Batman, which, by the way, he just kind of held it for a portion of the fight in the third act.
Bon voyage,
like the final
pussy.
fight scene. Oh, yeah, bon voyage, pussy. Favorite line from this.
So good. When I heard that, I was like, I laughed for like 5 minutes straight. I mean, like, I understand the context of it. I understand that's what cats are called. But...
Oh, he knew what he was saying. He knew. He was going for something, okay? So, anyway, criticisms for Batman the movie 1966. Robin is a little psychopathic Nazi in the making. What do I mean specifically?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Okay, so think back to kind of early in the movie. Robin, well, this was like, in the scene with the bomb, right? Batman takes the bomb out of the tavern and he's like, oh, I can't get rid of the bomb. Robin is like, well, hold on, you like saved those people even though they drink? And Batman has to explain, like, they're people, Robin. And they have like this whole like scene lecturing the audience about how like drinking is wrong, but like I guess you shouldn't like kill people that drink. I guess that's the takeaway. Robin also, like I mentioned in the plot summary, tries to do some casual eugenics on the United World Organization. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure.
So Batman and Robin are in the Batcave. This is at the end of the movie. They're trying to reorganize the dehydrated members of the United World Organization into their own individual like vials.
Right.
And Batman's like, all right, now, dial in the ethnic and national factors. All right. And Robin's like, well, with the way that things are in the world, you think maybe we ought to like shuffle them up a little bit, try to improve things?
Yeah, I remember that now.
And Batman very delicately explains, like, there are certain things that we just, as humans, we're not meant to mess with. But my reaction was like, how exactly do you wish to improve their ethnic and national factors, dick? What the fuck does that mean, dick? Improve their ethnic and national factors? Yeah, I guess Robin is into eugenics. That's the kid you got to watch out for. Like, he is like highly at risk for the alt-right pipeline. Like, he is one like Jordan Peterson video away from being a neo-Nazi. Anyway, my other criticism, I have very few criticisms for this movie, but this movie kind of fetishizes the police at a really awkward time, historically speaking. Like, this movie is like, support the police. That's our message. And, the police are awesome and we love them so much. And it's like, I guess I guess like they gotta like get past like the censors and stuff and
right.
And, they have to get past, like, they have to get approved and everything. And, so I understand the like constraints, but still it's worth acknowledging how, I guess, insensitive it is to fetishize the police to the level that they do. When we're at the point that this movie came out, we were 2 years after the Civil Rights Act being passed, which only got passed after years of protests and extreme police brutality in response.
Right.
Like, we had like the Kent State massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Kent State shooting, or, where, basically like the police were like being really violent with students. And so, yeah, it's just, it feels like, kind of like a little icky. But I mean, that's all that I really have, when it comes to criticisms. Do you have any to add?
I have a hard time with giving criticism for movies. Or games, really, or just anything in general. So I don't have anything. I can only think of positive things about this movie. It was pretty good.
That's fair. This is a masterpiece of a movie overall.
And I think this was the oldest movie that I watched too.
Yeah.
I don't watch movies much, as you can tell.
Yeah, this is probably one of the oldest movies that I've watched. Like, I've seen like The Wizard of Oz, which is obviously older. I don't know if I've seen much that's older than this. That's crazy. So anyway, overall, Batman 1966, I give it 4.9 stars out of 5. incredible movie, absolute masterpiece. Please watch it. It's great. Just try to ignore the the bootlicking.
Go into the movie expecting to come out, or even just during the movie, just laughing your ass off the whole time because it's so ridiculous.
Oh, definitely keep in mind the tone and what it's going for. Because like I mentioned earlier, people like hated this movie for being campy because they wanted a more serious Batman. Do not expect a serious Batman story. Every minute of this movie is going to be goofy and it's going to be funny and entertaining. And if you're not into that, this might not be the movie for you. So next week, Jake, do you want to introduce next week's movie?
Yes.
Give a little description of it. No spoilers or anything because we want to give people the opportunity to watch it before the next episode comes out.
Sure. So next week's movie is Treasure Planet, which is personally I think it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's basically a reimagining of the old
Treasure Island.
Treasure Island. Yeah, it's basically a reimagining of Treasure Island, but it's in space and there's more like kind of like high tech like lasers and all sorts of really cool crazy stuff that goes on. There's a whole so I guess just a little bit about this movie. This movie did not do well at all. It bombed in theaters.
Yeah, I remember you talked about this on an older episode. Didn't Disney release it at the same time as didn't it come out at the same time as Harry Potter or something? Something really big.
Yeah, it came out at the same time at the first Harry Potter movie as well as Santa Claus 2. In addition to only having like one or two trailers. Yeah, they only had like one or two trailers.
Yeah. I've heard that they did very little marketing for this movie. I've seen people say like Disney may have like purposefully tanked this movie. I think you might have said that actually.
Yes, I did. There's going to be a video which will either include I think we'll include it next week because we want people to watch the movie without okay, so there's a certain video that basically discusses about the history of Treasure Planet. It also discusses about the actual movie itself. The best way to do it is to watch the movie and then watch the video.
Yeah, I'll link it in the description under additional resources.
I don't want people to find it though. I mean, I think we include it in a different. I think we included it in a different episode, but I want people to watch the original movie first and then watch the. I think it's called. I think the video is called Treasure Planet: Disney's Biggest Mistake.
Yeah. Well, I'll link it and people can just watch it after they watch the movie.
Right.
Listener, I'm going to hold you to this. You have to watch the movie and then the video. And then next week's episode.
It was also one of the last traditionally animated Disney movies, besides Princess and the Frog. It's also one of the most expensive traditionally hand-drawn or traditionally animated movies ever made at $140 million. Because in addition to having the 2D animation, they also did 3D animation as well. They mixed it together.
Yeah, I've seen like breakdowns of how they animated it. It's incredible.
It's really cool,
especially for the time. Isn't it similar to what they did for Tarzan?
Yes.
How they mixed 3D and 2D animation?
Yep. The only thing for Tarzan though is they only used that tech in one scene. This was used throughout the entire movie. That's why it's so expensive.
Okay. Yeah, that's incredible. I actually don't think I've seen this. I might have seen like a little bit of it when it was on TV when I was a wee lad. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it, especially because we're covering it on the podcast. But still, I'm gonna watch it because I want to.
They also had a very good PC game of Treasure Planet. It was Treasure Planet Battle at Procon. I'm not sure how you say it, but it's basically a top-down strategy game. Like using the ships and trying to like outmaneuver your enemies and have all sorts of different tactics. It's really cool actually. It's on Steam.
Oh, it's on Steam.
Yes, it is on Steam, and I think it's pretty cheap.
Oh, that's so cool.
And last
$10.
Last time that I ran it, you don't need any patches for it. It just runs natively on Windows, no issues. It runs at, I think it can run up to 4K, and it has an unlimited frame rate as well.
Wow. Yeah, for a game that came out in 2002, that's incredible. Yeah, running at that resolution with the unlimited frame rate, that's really impressive. Because even like something as popular as Lego Star Wars that came out 5 years after this, you still can't, run it at an unlimited frame rate. Just the fact that this is supported as much as it is, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, watch Treasure Planet in preparation for next week's movie pick of the week. Which
from the sounds of it, it sounds like I am going to be here next week, even if Jared is here.
Yeah, we're gonna try to have Jared on too. He wasn't able to make it this week.
And Haley.
He's going back to work. Yeah, and Haley's gonna be here too. I'm getting extra microphone to plug into my new XLR interface.
So are you two gonna watch it together then, or individually?
Well, I like to take notes while I watch movies for the show. So I might watch it with her and then watch it on my own to take notes.
Okay.
Because I do try, if I'm able to, I do try to watch each movie that we do more than once, especially if it's something I haven't seen before or if it's something I haven't seen in a long time. So yeah, that's probably what I'll do. But anyway, let's move on to recommendations of the week. So first of all, I have a video from NerdSync. I know I've plugged their channel a lot on the show, but that's because it's a very good channel. This is their latest video from April 30th, so just this last Friday. I fixed Superman's black suit in Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's a great breakdown of the significance, because if you've seen the Snyder cut, you know that Superman, he wears his black suit, which in the comics was a regeneration suit after he died and came back to life, because comics, he had to wear this suit to sort of like regenerate his power and like get back to his normal strength. The real explanation is that it was the 90s and black was cool, so they were trying to make him more like radical, dude. So but anyway, this video breaks down why that really wasn't a good choice for the movie, and like I'm not doing it justice. It's a great video. Check it out. It's kind of a long one, but NerdSync videos tend to move by pretty quickly for how long they are. It's a great retrospective and stuff. The guy knows a lot about comics. He knows what he's talking about. Great channel if you haven't seen it or if you haven't seen any of the videos. But yeah, check that out. Link in description. And Jake, you have some recommendations?
Yes. So my first recommendation is Risk of Rain 2. So me, Ian, Jared, and Alex, sometimes when he's able to get on and play with us.
Yeah, I've played a couple times. It's pretty fun.
So it's really, really good. So Risk of Rain 2 is like a third-person action roguelike. A roguelike is something like you start off with nothing and you keep getting more upgrades, and you basically just make yourself so powerful that you feel like a god. So like
Minecraft.
I guess.
It's like Fortnite.
Okay. But
it's Fortnite.
But it's a lot of fun. It gets very, very hectic really fast. It doesn't matter if you have like the best computer in the world. It will lag your computer. Even if you I play on the lowest settings at 1080p. Once we start getting, I think like to level like 20 or something, I'm getting like 45 FPS, 30 FPS.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic game though. I would totally recommend the PC version. They do have a Switch version, a Xbox One version, and a PS4 version, but I recommend the PC version due to mods. There are a lot of character mods, a lot of mods that add more items, and there's even a mod that allows you to have up to like 15, 20 players in a single game. Typically, it only limits you to 4,
wow.
But there's a mod that basically unlocks it so you can have as many as you want.
Well, I would also recommend the PC version because, like, how well does the Switch version run? Like, I can't imagine it running very well.
I tried it. The Switch version runs. In the beginning, Well, I really only played like a little bit, but it seems like it runs at 60 FPS.
Wow. Okay, so like, I have a pretty decent PC. All right, like it's upper mid range, I'd say. Like I have a RTX 2070 Super, Ryzen 7 2700. 16 gigabytes of RAM, pretty good setup. And like you were saying earlier, like I play on like, I think medium-ish settings, and the frame rate dips so much.
Just because there's so much stuff going on at once.
Yeah.
I'm actually loading up the Switch version.
How do they make stuff run so well on the Switch? It's like Doom 2016 runs. It's a miracle. Technology is a miracle.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say about it.
I don't know how they get it running so well, but I recommend the PC version for sure. It's relatively cheap at $25, and like I said, the PC version is gonna be the most up to date version just compared to all the console versions. That's what I was gonna mention about Risk of Rain 2. So typically, roguelikes are usually single player. From my knowledge, Risk of Rain 1 and Risk of Rain 2 are the only roguelikes that I know of that are multiplayer, and they're multiplayer focused. From my knowledge. Just going off the top of my head. So, but get it. Absolutely fantastic games. Very, very cheap. I gotta see how many characters they have. I think they have like 8 or so characters from what I remember. 8 or 10. I can't remember. But really, really fantastic game.
So next recommendation then.
All right. So this may possibly be one of my favorite games of all time. And that's saying a lot from somebody who has like 200 games in their collection and has yet to play through probably at least 3/4 of them. God help me. It's a never-ending cycle of buying shit and then never playing it. But Cave Story is quite possibly one of my most favorite games of all time. It is a Metroidvania. So if you've never played like a Metroidvania or anything like that before, you basically, let's see here. Cave Story has a really dark story to it compared to other Metroidvanias.
Because it is in a cave, to be fair.
Yeah.
So it would be dark.
Okay, depressing story. But let's see here. I'm trying to think about how to explain a Metroidvania. A Metroidvania kind of game is you would go to different areas, explore more, and then you would get different upgrades, and then you can use those upgrades to go back to previous areas that you weren't able to get access to. So Cave Story is it's just really, really good. Trust me, it's very, very good. If you are unsure if you want to buy the game or not, the original game Cave Story was released on PC for free. The person who made it took him like 6 years to make. He did everything by himself, and then he just released it for free for people to download and play.
I actually did not know about this.
The best version to play it, though, is the Nintendo Switch version, for sure. I am one of the few people who actually has a physical copy. And if you want to know how much I love this game, I pre-ordered the physical version of this game, and I didn't have a Switch for another year and a half.
Oh, I remember that. So you said it's released for free. Where can you get it?
You can get it on cavestory.org. So if you go to cavestory.org, you go to the downloads page, and there's going to be a English translation pre-patched because it's originally a Japanese game. This thing is basically the equivalent of Doom. It's excuse me. It's been ported to literally anything that you can imagine. Mac, Linux, Amiga, PSP, GP2, GP2X, GP-Win, original Xbox, Game Boy Advance, DS, Mega Drive, RetroArch, GameCube, Dreamcast, Motorola phones, Raspberry Pis. It's been ported to everything. Those are the those are like the fan ports. The official version of the games, I gotta see here if they have the official versions. Okay, so the official versions of the game include the PC version, the DSi version, which is through the DSiWare, which doesn't exist anymore. The WiiWare version, which is labeled as Cave Story Plus, which We Wear's gone. F in the chat. There is the PC Cave Story Plus version, which Cave Story Plus was free on Epic, I would say about 2 or 3 months ago, for the PC version.
Well, do I have it then?
You might.
Because I grab every free Epic
You
game.
might. The difference between Cave Story and Cave Story, like the original Cave Story and Cave Story Plus, Cave Story Plus has difficulty changes. So like there's difficulty selections, there's extra modes, so there's like boss rush.
I do have it.
Install it. It's very good.
I do have Cave Story Plus.
Very good game.
But anyway, next recommendation, you have a YouTube channel to recommend?
Well, the first one really isn't a channel, but I mean, well, yeah, I guess they are technically. But they mainly do music. They are a songwriter called YonKaGor, YonKAGOR. They'll be linked. Fantastic music. I've been following them for, I would say, like 2 or 3 years now. They have all sorts of different styles of music. They change it up they constantly change it up. But like every single one of their songs is an absolute banger. Their newest song, You'll Be Gone, is so good. It's amazing. I think it's one of my favorite songs ever by them. You'll Be Gone is great. Circus Hop is good. Let's see here. Bitter and Blunt is really good. And another really good one was I Forgot That You Exist. I learned how to play that one on guitar, but I forgot how to play it. But I am working with them on a new song. They put out on Twitter that, they're trying to find people for background vocals. So I submitted my application and stuff, and I was able to get in. And it was like a dream of mine to always work with them. So I was really, really happy to actually work with them on a new song. I don't know when it's going to be released. I think it's supposed to be this month, hopefully. They've been trying to get it out for a couple of months. The reason why their songs take so long to get out is because they also do an animated music video with the song in addition to releasing it. But yeah, I will be backup tenor vocals. So if they are very good on how they do social media and stuff, my name should be in the credits. I should be credited, hopefully.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, go subscribe to that channel, YonKaGor. Am I saying
YonKaGor.
it right? Okay, YonKaGor. Go check them out. Subscribe. Ring the notification bell so you don't miss when the song comes out. Don't forget to leave a comment and a like and subscribe.
They also have they also release their songs on Spotify as well, and I believe Spotify, Apple Music. I'm not sure if they release it on.
I only listen to music on Tidal.
No idea what that is.
It's a fancy audiophile streaming service.
Okay.
It's for people that only listen to high res audio. So second to last recommendation, Stella. This is a sketch comedy show from 2005. It aired on Comedy Central. It's about these 3 guys, Michael, and David, who go around and have adventures and get in trouble and stuff, and it's fun. It's an absurdist comedy, so it's something that you don't really take seriously, kind of like Batman 1966. It tied it all together. But yeah, it's the feeling of it is like if you had if you made a cartoon but it's live action. It's kind of just silly and fun, and I think the writing is pretty good. There's a lot of clever jokes, so it's a great one. The creator of the show uploaded the whole thing to Vimeo, which I know Vimeo sucks, but hey, you know what? At least we can watch them. But yeah, I'll link that down below. You can watch it for free. It's a great show. They only made 10 episodes of it. Got canceled after the first season, and its time slot got taken up by Mind of Mencia, which aged very poorly. Just that whole thing, getting the Stella, an amazing show, replaced with Mind of Mencia of all shows. Yeah, fuck Carlos Mencia. I have to say that. But yeah, watch Stella. Great sketch comedy show. Link in description. It's on Vimeo. Watch it. It's free. And to close out this segment, Jake, you have the last recommendation.
Yes, Thaehan. I think that's how you say it. They are, I would say they're a pretty moderately popular artist. They make kind of like techno kind of music. But they also kind of have a like a metal kind of rock kind of focused album that they did called Fight Your Demons. Very good. And then the one that got me into it was OMG WTF, that album. More specifically, Superpower and Overpower. I still have yet to beat those songs on Beat Saber, and I don't think I ever will. But very, very good songs. Very, very fast-paced songs as well. So really, I don't know. They kind of get you into a groove. Like if you're playing like a fast-paced game, or doing chores or something, you want to get it done fast.
Doing the dishes to the extreme.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do the dishes to the extreme, and you can't control me. I do a terrible Duke Nukem impression.
But yeah, check them out. Link in description. And I think that's the show. Thank you, everyone, for listening to another episode of Bold of You to Say. If this is your first time here, first of all, thanks for checking us out. Check out some more of our episodes if you like what we do here. Leave us a review on Podchaser. That's a great way to help out the show. Also, share the show with a friend. That's another great way to help out. Share our Clips channel. That'll also be linked in the description. Share our clips, get eyes and ears on the show. Follow us on social media. That's all linked down below. Follow me on TikTok and Twitter and all that. Subscribe or follow Jake on Twitch, twitch.tv/Azzy_Rivals.
You can follow me on Twitter as well. Same username, Azzy_Rivals.
He does game streaming and stuff.
Eventually.
It's a fun time.
Eventually. I don't know when I'll be able to.
Yeah, I know you've been busy with stuff, but historically you have done game streaming. Yeah, follow us on our social media links linked down below in the description. And subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. Turn on notifications, turn on automatic downloads, and get vaccinated. Get freaking vaccinated. Wear a mask in public still. Stay safe.
For sure. Get your vaccine. I'm tired of this shit. I want it to end. I want to go to Comic-Con. I want to go to Smash Brothers tournaments. And I don't know. Do I really want to be around smelly people playing Smash? I don't think so. No. So I don't know. Maybe don't wear your mask. Maybe don't get no. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, spread this disease further.
I'm kidding. Please get vaccinated. I'm very lonely in this house.
Yeah, I just got the first dose. I'm getting the next one in a couple weeks.
I'm fully vaccinated.
It's great.
I had no symptoms. Some people have some symptoms from the second COVID shot. I didn't have anything. It may differ from you. So
he's just built different.
Different.
But yeah, so good 9 a.m. through 9 p.m. because those are our official hours. And see you next week.
Have yourself a good one, guys.